So the EFL returns this week with, of course, Hollywood FC trying to bounce back after their opening day in the EFL ends in a bit of a humiliating defeat. Can they bounce back this coming weekend? We're going to take a little look next. Prediction video today. We're taking a look at match number 2 in, of course, EFL League 2, and we'll get to that in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe button, bang to all things Rovers related, League 2 related, world football related. We're going to all hear, boys, under one rooski. Of course, that's right. Wrexham had an absolute shitter, as did Notts County, as the 2 promoted side. I realised what their season's going to be about. Everyone's going to come at these guys with the kitchen sink, and that just happened on opening day. Can they bounce back? I think so, but of course we'll take a little look in just a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. And if you're new, where you been, check out the links down below. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Let's get into it. Of course, see how I got on, see how you guys got on over in League 2. So here we go. Accrington Stanley, fantastic start for them. 3-0 win over Newport County. I went with a 1-0 win. Colchester United against Swindon was postponed. Not too sure why that was. Let me know down below in the comments. Crawley with a big 1-0 win over Bradford. I went the other way. Crewe Alexandra picked up a draw against Mansfield. Tidy result for them. Harrogate Town, big win for them over Doncaster at the Keepmoat. Morecambe 2-1 win over Warsaw. I went with a 1-0 win myself. Not too shabby on that as well. Salford 2-0 win over the Vegans. I went with the draw myself. Grimsby could only muster a draw against Wimbledon. Stockport County lost to Gillingham in the game of the day. Sutton with a big 5-1 win over Notts County. Barrow 2-0 win on the road to Tranmere. And Wrexham, big loss there. 8-goal thriller going to MK Dons. So quick calculator out there. I think I got myself a respectable 3, so let's take a look at where that ranks in this. Of course, our prediction league, it is free, getting amongst it. Cut before just League 2. Of course, you could be here alongside these guys. That's right. Man is this, whatever his name is, goes in here with his picks. He actually went with Doncaster over Harrogate. What did he go for a Wrexham game? He went with the 2-0 win for Wrexham, of course, got that one wrong. And he also went with Grimsby over Wimbledon. As for Jamie Gold, he went with the Doncaster victory over Harrogate, a Morecambe victory over Walsall, and also a big Wrexham victory over MK Dons. But of course, nobody out-predicted this guy. That's right. And it is whatever that is, Colchester. So he's got 8, a respectable 8. In fact, an incredible 8 for him. Also a big flex up there for Shade O'Donnell, Russell Frost, familiar names to the channel. James FC up there as well. So well done to you guys. It is early days, but of course, you've got to keep on keeping on, keep on predicting. Now, of course, like I said, I got 3, so it's not great. The sooner we move on from the next one, the better. So well done to you guys. And what did they do? They went right here, of course, Cutley Fortress League 2, free, got the name in lights. And of course, they're going to hopefully come back next time around to keep up the heat. And again, if you've just started and you think, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to win now," of course you can. There's people do drop off. Of course, people have stinkers. So don't fear that you missed out. And also, you could come in for 1 week and just flex 1 week and then bounce out the next week. Of course, and we also try to split up the table as well. So we have a half a league, and then half of the season league, and then the other half. Anyway. You'll see. Anyway, let's get into it. This is what the table looks like. Sutton, of course, up there with Accrington standing in MK Dons, of course. Down the foot, Newport County. Notts County heading straight back down. Oh my gosh, will it be right? I don't think so. But anyway, these are the next round of games. Match number 2 coming at you in quick fire. And of course, we're going to jump straight into the deep end with the next one, which of course is Barrow up against Sutton United. Let's get into it then. Of course, over in Barrow. Now, these two sides, of course, played each other, according to my eyes, 12 times since 2016. We've got 4 wins for Barrow. We've got 3 wins for Sutton. We've got 5 draws, of course. Barrow, though, biggest win for them over Sutton, just a 1-0 win, scoring just 10 goals in those 12 games, 0.83 goals game ratio heading into this. Sutton, of course, opening day monster flex for them. They have biggest win over Barrow, just a 1-0 win. They're scoring 9 goals in the 12 games, 0.75 goals game ratio for Sutton. Of course, Sutton come into this on 42% form for them right now. Barrow, 75% form, just 1 defeat past 6. Last time around, though, in Barrow, it was a 0-0 draw way back in March 2023. The away side hasn't won this game since Barrow beat Sutton in Sutton back in February 2019. Barrow with that 2-1 win over Tranmere, taking on Bolton this week in the Caterpillar Cup. As for, of course, Sutton, big 5-1 win over Notts County, taking on Cambridge, where they're expected to have a tight game in that one. Of course, the odds for this, 23-20 is your Barrow, 12-5 is your away win, and 21-10 is the draw. Long way to go for Sutton. Going to go with a 1-0 win for Barrow on this. 3 points in the can, and of course, a big move up the table. Bradford City up against Colchester United, coming at Valley Parade. Now, these two sides have played each other 18 times since 2004. We've got 6 wins to Colchester, 3 wins for Bradford. We've got 9 draws, of course. Bradford, though, without a win in 6, 17% form for them right now. Colchester, unbeaten in the last 5, 67% form heading into this. Again, those games and stats there are probably a mixture of friendlies and competitive games. Bradford, those biggest win over Colchester was a 2-0 win. 17 goals scored in those 18 games. 0.94 goals game ratio. On the flip side, Colchester coming at you with a 3-0 win, the biggest win over Bradford. 22 goals scored in those 18 games. 1.22 goals game ratio. Heading into this, of course, Bradford last time around did pick up a 2-0 win over Colchester at Valley Parade. That's back in March 2023. Bradford with a 1-0 loss against Crawley, taking on, of course, Accrington Stanley in the Cup this week. They're expected to win that game. Meanwhile, Colchester with a big 2, they actually didn't get to play. Of course, their game was postponed. So their officially first match of the season will be up against Cardiff in Wales, and they're expected to get a bit of a tonking on that one. The odds for this one, 5-4 on is your Bradford, 2-5 is your draw, 10-3 is your Colchester United. I'm back in a 2-1 win for Sparky's boys. Get their first 3 points in the can, and up the table they go. Gillingham against Accrington Stanley, 2 sides that kicked off with a win in their opening day. Played each other 16 times in the past. 2008, of course, 8 wins for Gillingham, 4 for Accrington, 4 draws, of course. The Gills, of course, biggest win was a 2-0 win, scoring 22 goals in those 16 games, 1.38 goals a game ratio. Up against Stanley, of course, 7-4 win was the biggest win over Gillingham, scoring 18 goals in those 16 games, 1.13 goals a game ratio heading into this. Gillingham, though, 50% form for them right now, winning 3 and losing 3. Stanley, though, of course, just 1 defeat past 6, 75% form heading into this. Of course, last time around, though, over in Gillingham, it was a 0-0 draw way back in October 2021. The home side hasn't won this game since Gillingham beat Accrington way back in March 2013. Of course, Stanley with a 3-0 win over Newport County, taking on Bradford in the Cup. Of course, we've touched on that already. Gillingham with a 1-0 win over Stockport, taking on Southampton in a Cup. Bit of a South Coast affair there, or Southish England affair there. The odds on this one then, Gillingham 7-5 for the victory, 90-10 is your away win, and we've got 21-10 is the draw. Going to go with a 3-1 win for the Gills. I think they could be real contenders this campaign. Next up, we have Walsall up against Stockport coming at you at the Bescot. These 2 sides have played each other, according to my eyes, 15 times in 1999. 9 wins for Walsall, 3 for Stockport, 3 draws. Of course, Walsall, though, 3-0 win for them. Was their biggest over Stockport. 20 goals scored in those 15 games, 1.33 goals game ratio. Not too shabby. Up against Stockport, though, whose biggest win over Walsall was just a 2-0 win. They've only scored 10 goals in the 15 games, 0.67 goals a game ratio. Walsall like to play Stockport. Stockport, though, coming into this on 50% form for them right now, winning 3 and losing 3. Walsall, though, coming into this on 67% form, just 1 defeat at the past 6. Of course, last time around, though, over at the Bescot, it was a 2-0 win for Stockport. That was in League 2. That was back in December 2022. Stockport opening up with a 1-0 loss against Gillingham will look to bounce back against Sheffield Wednesday in the Carabao Cup, but they were expected to lose that game. Walsall did lose to Morecambe, of course, taking on Rovers in the Carabao Cup this week, and hopefully they're going to lose that game as well. Looking at the odds here, we have 11-4 is your Walsall, even Stevens is your Stockport, and 11-5 is the draw. Going to go with a draw here as well, a point apiece. Walsall bounce back, hopefully, after a bit of an embarrassment against Rovers. That's all I can hope for anyway. Kicking on forward, it is Harrogate, it is Vegans in the Battle of the Badges. They look so weirdly similar. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, of course, coming at you over in Harrogate. Both sides, I think, unbeaten so far in the campaign. Played each other 4 times in 2020. We've got 1 win for Harrogate. We've got 3 wins for Forest Green. We've got 0 draws at the moment. Harrogate, of course, 75% form for them right now. 1 defeat the past 6 up against Forest Green. 2 wins at the last 6. 42% form for them heading into this. They also come into this with the biggest win over Harrogate. 4-1 win, scoring 8 goals in those 4 games. 2 goals a game average. Harrogate on the flip side, biggest win. 3-1 win. That's actually their only win. Scoring just 5 goals in those 4 games. 1.25 goals game ratio heading into this. Last time around, though, in Harrogate, it was a 4-1 win for Forest Green way back in December 2021. Forest Green with a 2-0 loss. Actually, they did lose on opening day, so I'm wrong there. I thought they drew. 2-0 loss to Salford. They are taking on Portsmouth in the Cup. Expected to lose that game as well. Harrogate with a 1-0 win over Doncaster, taking on Carlisle in the Cup, which could be a very, very tight game as well. 7-5 is your Harrogate, 23-10 is the draw, 7-4 is your away win. We're back in a 1-0 win for the Vegans on this one over Harrogate. And, of course, another 3, first 3 points in the bag. And next, of course, is Mansfield up against Morecambe in the Battle of the M's. That's right, coming at you over at in Mansfield. That's right. Played each other 19 times since 2007. We got 10 wins for Mansfield, 6 wins for Morecambe. We got 3 draws, of course. Mansfield, though, biggest win for them over Morecambe, 4-0 win, scoring 34 goals in those 19 games, 1.79 goals a game ratio. On the flip side, Morecambe, 3-1 win, the biggest over Mansfield, 27 goals scored in those 19 games, 1.42 goals a game ratio. There's goals in this game. Mansfield, though, on the flip side, 75% form for them right now, just 1 defeat past 6. Morecambe, of course, 1 defeat past 4, 42% form for them in the last 6. Last time around, though, over in Mansfield, it was a 1-1, it was a 1-0 1-0 win for Mansfield back in February 2021. That was in League Two. Mansfield with a 2-2 draw against Crewe, taking on, of course, Grimsby in the Cup. They're expected to win that game. Morecambe with a 2-1 win over Walsall, taking on Rotherham on the road. They're expected to get tonked in that game as well. The odds here, 2019 on is your Mansfield, 12-5 is your draw, 13-5 is your away win. I'm back in Mansfield here, 2-1 win for them. I love Morecambe, but I think they're going to struggle in this one. Next, of course, we have MK Dons up against Tranmere Rovers, coming at you at the Stadium MK. Now, these two sides have played each other 21 times since year 2000. Of course, MK Dons with 11 wins, 7 for Tranmere, and 3 draws, of course. MK Dons' biggest win over Tranmere, 4-0 win, scoring 31 goals in those 21 games, 1.48 goals game ratio. On the flip side, Tranmere, of course, biggest win was a 3-1 win, scoring 21 goals in those 21 games. You do the math. MK Dons, though, 1 win in 6, 33% form for them right now. Tranmere, though, without a win in the last 6. Again, that's in friendlies, that's in competitions, and all that kinds of stuff. So, recent form. Anyway, last round over at MK Dons, it was a 3-1 win for Tranmere back in November 2019. That was in League One. Tranmere, though, did lose to Barrow opening day. They're taking on Barnsley in the Cup. They're expected to lose that game. MK Dons did lose to beat Wrexham comfortably in thriller, 8-goal thriller there. Taking on Wickham, of course. It could be a tight game, that one, but of course, Wickham are expected to win no matter what. 23-20 is your MK Dons. 11-5 is your draw. 23-10 is your away win here. Going to back MK Dons here and another 3-0 win. As I think they're contenders as well for this league this year. Of course, Newport County up against Doncaster Rovers in Wales. That's right. Now, these two sides, according to my data, they played each other 4 times since 2016. 2 was to Doncaster, 1 was for Newport County, and 1 draw. Newport County's biggest win, their only win over Doncaster, 3-1 win, scoring just 3 goals in those 4 games, 0.75 goals game ratio. Doncaster, of course, biggest win over Newport County, 2-0 win, scoring 4 goals in those 4 games, 1 goal a game ratio as well. Doncaster, though, 58% form for them right now, just 1 defeat the past 5. Up against Newport County, though, 4 defeats on the spin, 25% form for them in all competitions. Last time around, though, over at Newport, it was a 1-0 win for Doncaster back in League Two, back in December 2022. Doncaster, 1-0 loss against Harrogate. That was, of course, opening day. Taking on Hull in the Cup, expected to lose that as well. Of course, Newport with a 3-0 loss against Accrington. Stanley going to take on Charlton in the Cup this weekend, or this midweek. They're expected to lose that as well. So a bit of a bumpy start for both sides so far. 5-4 on is your Newport, 10-3 is your Doncaster, 12-5 is the draw. I'm back in a draw here. Of course, McCann's boys on the road will be happy with that, I think. Into the back end of the picks here, Notts County up against Grimsby. Similar badges, similar kits, I think. Played each other according to my eyes 29 times since 1993. 8 wins for Notts County, 4 for Grimsby, 7 draws, of course. Notts County, though, 2-0 win was their biggest over Grimsby, scoring 30 goals in those 29 games, 1.03 goals game ratio. Up against Grimsby, 4-0 win was the biggest over Notts County, 45 goals scored in the 29 games, 1.55 goals game ratio. Heading into this last time around, though, over in Notts County, it was in the league, it was in the National League. It was 2-1 win for Grimsby back in February 2022. Grimsby with a 0-0 draw against Wimbledon, taking on Mansfield in the Cup. Could be a tight one, this one. They're expected to lose, though. Mansfield, of course, with the home form. Notts County with a 5-1 loss against Sutton, taking on Lincoln this week. They're expected to beat Lincoln despite the division difference between the two sides. The odds for this one, we have Notts County 6-5 on for the victory, 3-1 is your Grimsby, 5-2 is your draw. Going with a 1-0 win. I think they'll bounce back after that shit show in their opening day, but of course, we'll see about that. Salford up against Crawley, that's right. Coming at you in Salford. Now, these two sides have played each other 8 times since 2019. We've got 1 win for Salford, 4 for Crawley, 3 draws, of course. Salford, though, their one and only win, 2-1 win. They've scored 8 goals in those 8 games, 1 goal a game ratio. Crawley, though, biggest win for them over Salford, 2-0 win, scoring 12 goals in those 8 games, 1.5 goals game ratio heading into this. They've also 5 games, they've won 5 of the last 6 games, 83% form for them right now. Salford just 1 win in 5, 42% form for them over the last 6. Last time around in Salford, it was a 2-2 draw back in September 2022. Crawley with an opening day win over Bradford, of course. They also take on Exeter in the Cup. Salford with a 2-0 win over Forest Green, taking on North End in the Cup. Both sides are expected to lose those games. The odds for this one, though, Salford 2-1 on for the victory, 31-10 is the draw, 90-4 is your away win. I'm back in, of course, Salford with a 2-0 win at home. That's right. Kicking on forward is Swindon up against Crewe, of course. Swindon yet to get going with that postponement. Of course, played Crewe 33 times since 1997. 14 wins apiece, 5 draws, of course. Swindon, though, biggest win over Crewe, 5-0 win, scoring 52 goals in those 33 games, 1.58 goals game ratio heading into this. Crewe, though, biggest win for them over Swindon, 42 goals, score 44-4-2 it was. The amount of goals Crewe have scored over Swindon, 40 in those 33 games, 1.21 goals game ratio heading into this. Of course, last time around over in Swindon, it was a 1-0 win for Crewe back in November 2022. Crewe, of course, back-to-back wins over Swindon last season. Crewe with a 2-2 draw against Mansfield, taking on Sunderland in the Cup. They're expected to get tonked on that one. Swindon taking on Peterborough on the road. They're also expected to lose that game. But the odds for this game are out in League 2. We've got 10-7 on as your Swindon, 13-5 as draw, 7-2 is, of course, your Crewe here. I'm back in a 2-0 win for Swindon. They've got Charlie Austin. They've got goals. And I think they'll do the business this time around. Of course, next up, we have Wimbledon up against Wrexham. That's right, over at Plough Lane now. Of course, these two sides played each other 4 times since 2010. We've got 2 wins for Wrexham, 1 for Wimbledon, 1 draw, of course. Wimbledon, their only win, 2-1 win, scoring 4 goals in those 4 games, 1 goal a game ratio. Wrexham, though, biggest win there over Wimbledon was a 1-0 win, scoring 5 goals in those 4 games, 1.25 goals a game ratio heading into this. Last time around, though, over at Plough Lane, it was a 1-0 win for Wrexham back in February 2011. It's been a long, long time, guys. Of course, starting with a 5-3 loss to MK Dons, and of course, Wigan waiting for them in the Cup when they're expected to beat Wigan, bizarrely. As for Wimbledon, of course, 0-0 draw against Grimsby, taking on Coventry in the Cup, where they're expected to lose. But of course, the odds for this one, we have Wimbledon 7-5 for the victory, 9-5 is your Wrexham, 9-4 is your draw. Wimbledon are backed here to win this game. I've gone with a draw, Wrexham to bounce back in some capacity to at least get something from this game. That, of course, is my picks. Make sure you get your own picks down below so you can be featured next time around. But also, don't forget to get your picks in this. It is, of course, the Prediction League. It is free. Get your name in lights. Compete with the big boys. Compete with me to see if you can outdo me in the Prediction League. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. MK Dons flying high. We're up there with 6 points with Salford, Gillingham and Barrow. Mansfield, Sutton and Swindon make up the playoffs. That's, of course, my eyes. Colchester and Tranmere going down to the non-league football. But, of course, it could all be right. It could all be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But until then, guys, subscribe, smash that thumbs up, please. It does wonders for the old YouTube algorithm. Get some momentum behind the channel. Let's keep this guys forward. Of course, get your name in lights as well as you flex your own predictions in the Prediction League. But of course, until then, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the little bell. We'll be back, of course, with more picks for match number 3 just around the corner. But until then, guys, I'll see you soon for the next one. That's right, I'm out.